2. If you guys happen to miss part 1, make sure you go back and watch.
Wait a minute. Let's talk about American Pharoah real quick. Triple Crown. Holy shit. I had a feeling I should put some money on it, but that's another story. But that's awesome. Something to see in its history, man.
Has it happened since like the 70s?
78.
I'm not a fan of, the horses, races, whatever you call them. But
OTB.
It's huge when history happens, and everybody has to recognize that. Like I've said before, I'm not even really a fan of UFC, but when Ronda Rousey came out, I got to come out and give her props. Like, that is the most dominant fighter I've ever seen or heard of. So, they're saying that American Pharoah is maybe the number 2 horse of all time, which is huge to say, because horse racing is one of our oldest sports within the entire globe. Like, the entire world has been doing horse racing since before we could speak, and to me it's huge that we're living in this history today. There's so much history going on in sports with LeBron. I think he's becoming the best of all time. You got Stephon Curry, the best shooter. He could be the best shooter ever. Ben Roethlisberger, one of the best quarterbacks that people need to recognize this stuff. I'm not a fan of Ben Roethlisberger, but if I'm seeing a dude play and he throws for 500 yards, I'm like, I really hope he breaks the record. This is history. We got to see this shit happen. I don't want it to happen against my team, but let's say they're playing against the Houston Texans. I hope they get an extra 100 yards. I want to see history happen. You know what I'm saying? Calvin Johnson breaks the record. So much history is happening in sports within the last 2 or 3 years, and I think it's amazing, to see all these things that could happen or might happen. Adrian Peterson got to what, six yards within Dickerson's record. Yeah. Like, that's huge. There's so much that I think we just need to just stop and say, man, like, forget about, like, it's great to come back and say Michael Jordan was the greatest player of all time. And there's a lot of people who that nostalgia hits their heart, and they're like, nobody will ever be better than Michael Jordan. But to me, it's like, someday somebody is. And right now, we all just need to be like, yo, he could be. Enjoy it. Stop hating. Or hate. Whatever. But just the history factor and all it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Very cool.
It's just nice to be able to see this stuff, because for me, it's like, most of us in the world today wasn't alive when Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points. So, how cool would it be to see somebody come in and score 101 and think, yo, this won't happen for another 60, 70, 80, 90 years.
Right.
That's huge.
Tacos!
Speaking of basketball, finals.
Wow.
Yeah.
2, not 1, 2 overtime games.
First time ever.
Crazy. See?
History. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so much history just in this finals. You got the 2 rookie head coaches. It's never happened before. Steve Kerr, you got David Blatt. 2 guys who've never been an NBA coach or coached at the NBA level, not even assistant coaches. And they got put in these head coaching jobs, and they're both in the NBA Finals. We forgot to mention that last week, but I felt like it had to be plugged in this week. But go ahead and talk about the games. So, what you got to say?
I mean, I like how it's coming right down to the wire. Obviously, 2 overtimes.
It's huge.
I mean, Cleveland taking one. Honestly, if you really want to know the truth, it should be 2-0 Cleveland. You know, it shouldn't even came down to the overtimes. But I'm loving it because, you know, it's competition. It's all-time high. You have the greatest motherfucker in the world right now, and you have the young...
The MVP.
Yes, the MVP. This dude, it's just awesome. The matchups, everything. It's great.
You got two people that are fighting for their careers, their legacy, their team. We're hoping it gets to Game 7.
I mean, everybody counting them out with, you know, homeboy being injured, Kyrie Irving and shit. So it's like, hey, they won without him. You know, I'm just interested to see what's going to happen tonight. I was thinking to myself, I think Cleveland's going to do a number on them. I have a feeling. We'll see.
By the time you see this, you'll know who won Game 3.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're going to see tonight.
Who do you think's going to win Game 3?
I think Cleveland's going to get them. I mean,
me too.
They're at the
crib. They're at home.
I mean, like I said, it should be 2-0 right now. Honestly, if you watch the game,
and I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Game 1, the Cavs could have won it. It could have went either way, really.
Yeah.
I do believe that Golden State's gonna take one in Cleveland.
I think it's gonna stretch out the 7
I do believe
games.
it.
It's gonna stretch out the 7.
I don't think it's gonna be this game. Maybe Game 4.
Yeah, it's not gonna be tonight.
It's not gonna be tonight.
No.
Cleveland's gonna come and they're gonna that crowd's gonna be so
it's gonna be
wild and ruckus.
What? It's gonna be nuts, man.
You're gonna have dudes coming in with ashy jerseys from when they burned them.
Yeah.
4 years ago. Yeah. And it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a great game. Mm-hmm. We've seen 2 overtime games. I don't think we're gonna see another one. I'm thinking the Cavs might blow them out.
I'm thinking Cleveland's gonna do a number on them.
I'm gonna see 20. I'm gonna say at least 20 points.
Ooh. Okay.
I believe it.
They're gonna tune them up. That's for sure.
Unless Stephon Curry goes off, and the only reason Game 2 he got shut down. It might be a fluke, but it might really be something. Maybe Cleveland found a way, and if that's the case, this series is only going to go on to 5 or 6 games. But if it was just a fluke, I think that Stephon Curry will at least make the game competitive. But I think that you got LeBron James, you got an incredible Cavs team. They're coming home to a wild crowd, this desperate Cleveland crowd that hasn't seen a title in so long. They're going to be crazy. It's going to be a good game, but I do believe that in the fourth quarter, you're going to see the Cavs really pull away from it, 15, 20 points. I'm saying right now. I'm going to stick with my 20-point deficit. Tacos!
It's supposed to be the day. But next week, we're going somewhere.
Fast food review. Yep. Yeah, we're going to postpone the fast food review for 1 week. Just overall planning and coordinating, and you know, we got to spend money, so it's kind of like we got to make sure that we got some change in our pockets to put down to some fast food and do a whole review. Mm-hmm. I just want to say real quick, I want to thank everybody for not blowing me up last week on a fucked up camera angle. I know in the past I've made fucked up camera angles, and I've apologized for them. I just want people to understand, and I think people have that. It takes a long time. It takes a bit of a process. You know, it could take a half an hour to 45 minutes for me to figure out what that perfect camera angle is. And like I said before, it takes, you know, I have to record for about a minute, see how I like the camera, move it around a little bit, see how I like it now. Because there's times when I hit that record button and we talk for a half an hour, and I never know if the camera angle is right or not until after we're done, and we get to check the video out. And that's only happened twice where I fucked up the camera angle. This is video number 16, so we're getting them right for the most part. And I want to just say thank you for not blowing me up, because You know, I know how it is, and people want to see everything that we got, and we're making the show visually appealing, and once we move into the studio, we're gonna make it even more visually appealing.
We were just making some plans. Perfect timing.
Yeah,
that was perfect timing.
I was waiting for something like that to happen. I've been saying since day one, I'm waiting for this poster to fall, because it's barely holding up there. But yeah, you know, we're gonna do consider it to be kind of like an interview thing. We're gonna let you guys interview us every couple of months. This won't be a monthly thing. This will be like every couple of months anytime I get a question in, whether it's somebody that sees me on the streets and asks me a question, whether it's somebody I know that texts me and was like, where did you come up with that? Or if it's somebody who leaves a comment on YouTube or whatever. We're going to compile some questions that we see questions that we see fit. We're going to throw into an extra video. It'll be our bonus video for this week. Fast food review, like he said, coming up next week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
everybody, you know what time it is. Dustin Plates, Mango Hassan, Taco Homies, and the word is... What is the word?
The word is... Tacos! We out.
Later.